Hi, this is attorney Stephen Terpak from Sutter and Terpak. We are a personal injury and employment law firm located in Fairfax County, Virginia. This is our video newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is maximizing your recovery in personal injury cases, liability only. I have an email here which I'd like to go through with you, but before I do that, I have to give you our disclaimer. This newsletter does not constitute legal advice. There is no substitute for a one-on-one consultation with an attorney licensed to practice law in your state. I am a Virginia lawyer, and generally speaking, I am talking about Virginia law. So let's get into the email. Here we go. I was driving through a parking lot and somebody backed into me from a parking spot. That sounds really annoying. They told me they were sorry and that they would pay for it. That's nice. The damage was pretty bad, so I called the police. The police arrived and they said they couldn't do anything about it because it was private property. I called the insurance company for the other person when I got home, and they said they had evidence that I was driving a little too fast. Not true. And they said they are going to fix my car. No, they said they are not going to fix my car. What can I do? Do I really not have a claim like they're telling me? Who is going to pay for my car damage? All right, so you got a problem. My guess is that you don't have liability, or you have liability only coverage on your personal automobile policy, and I will tell you why I think that. And what happens frequently in a situation where you have liability only, and why it's a bad idea. All right, I was driving through a parking lot and someone backed into me from a parking spot. So parking lot crashes are kind of the worst because, as you'll see, when the police come, they frequently don't want to do anything, and there's often a lot of activity in parking lots, and it's really easy to concoct a story that somebody backed into you, or you backed into somebody else, or somebody was driving too fast, or they weren't paying attention. So when you're in a parking lot collision, your antenna need to go up because you may end up having a problem. They told me they were sorry and that they would pay for it. That's good. That's a good start. If you had that on videotape, that would be good. The damage was pretty bad, so I called the police. The police arrived and they said they couldn't do anything about it because it was private property. So police, especially in the Northern Virginia area where we are, they will come to a parking lot crash if they're called. They really don't have any authority not to do that, but very frequently when they get there, they won't be able to figure out who's telling what story, and they'll say, well, it was on private property, so we can't write a report, we can't give any tickets. Interestingly, there is a statute in Virginia which prohibits reckless driving in parking lots, but for whatever reason, they don't want to do crash reports for just regular crashes. So I called the insurance company for the other person, and they said they had evidence I was driving a little too fast. Not true. And they said they are not going to fix my car. So basically what's going on here is that even if the other driver called them and said, hey, I backed into this poor guy, if the insurance company finds any evidence that they can rely on to deny a claim, they'll do it. So maybe their driver said, yeah, he came out of nowhere. And the insurance company says, well, that means to us he was driving a little too fast. In Virginia, even if you're only 1% at fault and the other guy's 99% at fault, you can't recover in a claim against the 99% fault driver because of what's called contributory negligence, which I will talk about later. But needless to say, if they can find a way to blame even a little bit of this on you, they'll do it. And the reason is because you have liability only. So the rest of the email says, what can I do? Do I really not have a claim like they're telling me? Who's going to pay for my car damage? It's not an expensive car, but I can't drive with the side smashed. So sometimes people get liability only because they think, well, this car is not worth very much. I'm a safe driver. If somebody hits me, they'll pay for it, or it's really not worth the money. It's just the car's only worth $5,000. I can save $50 on the insurance, so I'm just gonna get liability only. So what happens then is you get caught in a trap. So the insurance companies know that if you have liability only and you're in an accident, your insurance company isn't going to step in and pay under your collision coverage. So normally if you have collision coverage and you're in this same kind of accident we've been discussing, you could call your insurance company and they'd say, okay, look, pay your $500 deductible, we'll give you the other $1,500 or we'll fix your car, and then they will go after the at-fault driver's company for your deductible, and eventually you'll get it back. Your insurance company has a duty to sort of try to get your deductible back for you. So at the end of the day, you'll be made whole because your insurance company is going to be working for you. If you have liability only, your insurance company is going to say, well, we're not doing anything, you have liability only. And the other driver's insurance company is going to know that you have no remedy, because if you try to hire a lawyer for a $2,000 property damage claim, most lawyers are going to say, this is too complicated, there's a 50% chance we lose, why would I take this case? You're not going to pay me $300 an hour to do it, and if I take a third of it, I'm working 10 hours for $600 and I don't want to do that. The insurance companies know this, so they just deny the claim and you're stuck. So what could you have done to avoid this? You could have gotten collision coverage under your policy, or the only other thing I can think of at this moment is to document the way the accident happened as best as you can using your smartphone. Take pictures of everything from all angles and vantage points so you can kind of show, try to show the other driver's insurance company that you really weren't at fault. If you have very good evidence, they might be concerned about a bad faith claim, which I'll talk about in another video. But likely, nevertheless, even with great pictures, if you have liability only in this situation, you are going to get treated badly. So if you have a question about Virginia law, you can call our office and book a one-on-one consultation for a half hour. Of course, personal injury consultations are free. Thank you for watching our video newsletter, and I will see you next time.